Coming up this week on the Local Music Show podcast, special guest Curtis Lewis joins us on the show. We're starting a new topic series of true stories from behind the monitors, and I reveal a few of my own performance gimmicks. So fasten your seatbelts and step on the gas. We're headed for another week of the Local Music Show podcast. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Local Music Show podcast. We are your hosts, Jose Almonte, the Ron the Legend, and I am Derek Diamante, and thank you for allowing us your attention for yet another week. For those of you who are new to the show, localmusicshowpodcast.com is the website and home base for all the great music coming up this weekend. You can listen to us on iTunes, YouTube, Player.fm, PocketCast.com, and you can interact with the show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. But all of the really smart people just go straight to the source and subscribe at localmusicshowpodcast.com. That's all you need to know. We are currently scheduling new guests to be featured on the show at our WPBHQ studio in West Palm Beach, Florida. And if you are interested, please send us an email to TheShowGuy at localmusicshowpodcast.com, and we will make it happen. For those of you who have contacted us already, we sincerely thank you, and we look forward to jamming with you. This week we have a special guest. You know him as the bass picker for Crazy Train, for Jason K and Signal Fire, and if you're lucky enough to share the stage with him, you also know him as the fittest, most successful personal trainer on that stage performing with you. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Curtis Lewis will be joining us to talk about how he got started in the music industry. We also begin a new discussion series of true stories from behind the monitors, where we share some perspective from the performing musicians who hear everything from behind the stage monitors. We do not hear everything that you hear in the audience, and it oftentimes can get pretty interesting. As I mentioned before, I share a few secrets of my own personal performance tricks, because even though this is an audio broadcast, those of you who have seen me on stage will catch right on with no problem. Guaranteed you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And as always, I want to sincerely thank everyone for listening and for your support of the show. Things are beginning to take root here, and we're looking forward to more exciting announcements, milestones, and amazing guests in the very near future. And now, I'm going to throw it over to the one, the only, the Ron the Legend, to let you know where you can find the best music this weekend. Mr. Legend, the mic is all yours.
Welcome to the Local Music Show podcast weekend update. This week's featured venue is Double Roads Tavern in Jupiter. Listen for the weekend recap for more information on Double Roads. For this week, Thursday 10-4 through Sunday 10-7. Beginning tonight, Big Al and the Heavyweights is at Clematis by Night at 6 p.m. The Goodnicks and friends of the show are at Wellington Amphitheater in Wellington at 6 p.m. Pam and Dave are at Double Roads in Jupiter at 6:30. Rob Arendt is at the Wyndham and Deerfield Beach at the Resort at 7 p.m. And Jason Craig Band is at the Rum Shack in Lake Worth at 8:30 p.m. For tomorrow, 10-5, George Zaruk at Two Georges in Boynton at 5 p.m. Mr. Nice Guy at Galuppi's in Pompano Beach at 7 p.m. Francine at Matthews Brewing in Lake Worth at 8 p.m. The legendary George Lilly at Double Roads in Jupiter at 8:30 p.m. And Jericho at the Rum Shack in Lake Worth at 9:30 p.m. And Saturday, 10-6, For Life Decisions at Two Georges in Boynton at 4 p.m. Burnt Biscuit at Double Roads in Jupiter at 8:30 p.m. Resonate at Matthews Brewing in Lake Worth at 8 p.m. Big Jam Theory and Friends of the Show at the Fish Depot at 8 p.m. And Jawzilla at Rum Shack in Lake Worth at 9 p.m. Sunday, 2:30 in the afternoon, Bryce Allen Band at Matthews. At 2 George's at 4 p.m., you can see the Flyers. And at 4:30, Pro Jazz Jam Session at Double Roads in Jupiter. If you'd like to have your favorite band or venue added to the Local Music Show podcast weekend update, contact us at TheShowGuy at localmusicshowpodcast.com. Come out and support your local bands. We'll see you out there. Have a safe weekend. This is your host, Ron the Legend, with my co-host, Derek Diamante.
What's going on, everyone?
Hey, buddy. And we have our special guest, Curtis Lewis, in our studios in West Palm Beach.
Yeah. What's up, Curtis?
Hey, how we doing?
Good, man.
Very glad to be here.
So, Curtis, we have a few questions, interview questions for you, if you don't mind. And we'd like you to tell us a little bit about some of your history. Everybody knows that you're the bass player in Crazy Train. And some of us know that you have other gigs going on at the same time. And I think what people are going to really be interested in is hearing some of your past exploits and your shots at stardom, if you will.
Oh, okay.
Give us a little history lesson on who is Curtis Lewis and where you came from, and some of the bands that you played with along the way.
Okay. Basically, where I came from, grew up in New York.
Mm-hmm.
New York guy. Played my high school ball and college ball in New York. So really took a shot at professional football. Thought I was going to be doing that. I thought that was going to be my career. And,
What position?
Strictly offensive. Just running back, receiver, that type of thing. Kick returns, catching punts, stuff like that.
Cool.
But that was kind of my deal. Figured I'd be doing that, but injuries kind of derailed that. So tried to make the Jets as a walk-on back in the day, and I made it to the second cut, and then I got cut, and that was the end of that. So
that's cool.
But that was my stint with the NFL. So there we go there. But then proceeded to work, just work a job and that type of thing. Then around 1998 or so, decided to take music very serious instead of just kind of winging it.
Mm-hmm.
Was the bass always the first instrument?
Yeah. Well, no, actually it wasn't. Actually, my first bass instrument that I actually played pretty well was the trombone.
Nice.
So that was my first
bass
instrument.
I always wanted to play a wind instrument, and the one I always wanted to play was either the tuba or the trombone.
Mm-hmm. And then from there, that's when I decided to pick up the guitar, because I had a lot more fun playing in a band than I did playing in the big band.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I can understand that.
It was better.
More girls there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can understand that. But the trombone always has a good part.
Yeah, man, it was cool. It was
having
cool.
a comeback, actually.
Yeah.
But if I was gonna do if I was gonna play a wind instrument now, it'd be a saxophone.
There you go. Yeah, that wasn't quite for me, but
Mm-hmm.
I was able to pick that up and actually learn it pretty quick. And I did some reading, but a lot of times I would just, I had the ability to hear what I needed to hear with the ear, and then I just picked it up that way. So
Nice.
I'd read a little bit, and then I knew it was coming, so
So you knew.
I just used my ear. So.
What's up, South Florida? You are listening to LocalMusicShowPodcast.com. This is Justin Enko from Poor Life Decisions Band. Thank you for supporting local music.
But I had to, like I was referring to as going back to music school, was I really wanted to learn the trade, find out what was going on, and connect that way. So I went to music school in Atlanta at the Atlanta Institute of Music.
No kidding.
And I spent 2 years there. Lived in Alabama and
Commuted to Atlanta.
Georgia for like 3 days out of the week. Went to music school there, and then I went back to Alabama and kind of back and forth. I did that for 2 years. So
Well, that's quite of a change from New York.
Yeah, it was kind of insane. You know, we got the family and all that. It was kind of like, okay. So, did the grind there. Spent a lot of time with some really excellent musicians. Spent time with Victor Wooten, Michael Manring, just a lot of different heavyweight players at that point in time. These guys were at the top of the game. And,
Vic's a heavyweight. That's
yeah,
for sure.
he was coming out. Also spent a lot of time with Adam Nitty, and a lot of these classes I'm sitting in there, and there's just me and maybe two other guys, and then it would be Victor or Adam, and that was just
Wow.
yeah. So
Nice. Pretty cool.
learned a lot as far as chops and all that, and but when I got done with that, then I proceeded to just go full time, start touring, and that type of thing. So got on the Melisma label, as far as Melisma Records, out of Atlanta, and that was the same label as Matchbox 20 and all them. So
Nice.
wasn't actually in the band, but the bands that I played in, we would open up
All
for
around
them.
them.
Got to open up for Dave Matthews, Counting Crows, Wallflowers. So I was kind of on that tour. So
That's cool.
So that was pretty awesome
But that was a
to be able
fun
to do
time.
that. And did that for a number of years. So it was,
And what year was that again? Around that time?
that was between probably between 2000,
2000.
to about 2005 to 2006 before I moved down here. And then around 2005 or 6, when I moved here, that just kind of came to an end when I moved down here, and then
You moved down here in 2006?
2005 actually.
5?
Actually moved down here in 2005, and then at that point in time I've been down here ever since. But I kind of lost that connection between Atlanta and down here.
Right.
But that was pretty much how I ended up getting down here. But yeah, for that time, it was pretty awesome, man.
I bet that was fun days.
To be full time and do all that and get to meet a lot of heavyweight players and stuff. Really enjoyed it. So
That would be a lot of fun. But you got some good stories to tell from that. Well, that you couldn't tell, rather.
we can't really tell them here. But,
Right. Good stories that you can't tell.
but yeah, man, love it. And today, I still, with the local scene here, I put a lot of work in with the local scene here, play with a lot of really excellent players here as well. So it's been fun, and I'm still doing it. I just love it, man. Just love it.
Yeah, so what all bands are you playing now?
Besides Crazy Train, I'm playing with
Of course, I know that.
playing with Jason K right now. So that's like a whole different genre of music.
Of music.
We're doing the Beatles and Depeche Mode and you name it. Just a lot of the older stuff that we're kind of bringing back, kind of adding our own vibe to that kind of thing. So he's giving me some room to do that.
It's nice to have a good variety like that.
Good variety. Keyboard players, is excellent. So gives us an opportunity to do some different stuff, completely different from what we're doing with Crazy Train. Love it.
And then who else you playing with?
That's kind of it for right now.
Well, I know you do other freelance stuff here and there.
Yeah, if I can pick up an occasional gig or maybe something in the studio.
I just happen to know that because I know you.
Yeah. Usually, if I could pick up some studio stuff, that'd be good, because that was one of my strengths, was being able to really do well writing original music, because that's really where my background is from.
And that was a lead in right into my next question. Is,
Well, and before you go into it, could we just take a quick break?
yeah, get me a beer. I'm all about it.
I'll be glad to.
All right.
This is a Local Music Show podcast.
weekend. We play at Matthews. We play at Two Georges,
Which weekend is this?
October 19th.
Oh, okay.
19, 20, 21. My birthday.
Oh, wow. That's going to
Stop
be...
it. You're going to be here.
No,
Change
No,
your
what?
plans.
no, I'm not.
What? Oh, no.
That's my birthday weekend.
Dude, I have a flight. I'm going to be in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be in Cincinnati to Steeler game that weekend. And
Oh,
I'm going to be in
no.
Pittsburgh.
You gonna throw away this huge weekend for some foosball?
Some foosball.
No, it's a little white and black ball for you, but it is a pigskin here.
Listen,
Yeah, look around the studio.
listen.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my birthday weekend, and we have 3 gigs that.
Dude, I'm going
No
to my
kidding.
class reunion, my first one I've ever gone to.
No way. Wow.
So,
But it's only 10 years, my goodness.
Matthews on Friday. The 20th is Two Georges, and then the 21st is Deck 84.
Are you kidding me?
But
Oh my
I
goodness.
want to be like a big party
I got
at
a
Two Georges.
3-day freaking weekend I'm going to be missing. Who's running sound for you if I'm not here?
Shit. I want to know that too.
Must be you.
Yeah. On my birthday? We have Matthews on Friday. I'm gonna be drunk that whole weekend.
That's effed up. How come you had to go get born on that weekend? That's my weekend.
You had to go and just get born. You had to go and be born.
I'm telling you.
That weekend, on that weekend of all weekends.
It's gonna-
That's 3
it's gonna
weeks
be-
away, right?
No, that's October 19th.
That's 3. Oh, maybe that's 4 weeks away.
I'm glad we're bringing this up.
Check your calendar, man.
Yeah, it's about
Please.
a month away. It's about a month away.
You know what?
You sure?
I leave the.
The 12th is a Friday, right?
Oh no.
No,
The
it's-
12th is a Friday.
Right.
And I come back the next Tuesday, so I will be here that following week.
So why you see?
Oh, wow.
Was that what you were thinking about earlier to tell us?
Yeah, I know, right?
That just-
Email the show guy, and Ron will be here that weekend.
See how you get it?
We finally filled in the dots.
Somebody make me a present.
Dude, so you-
Finally filled in the blanks.
I will.
All right. All right.
About musicians for musicians, talking about in-ears and different things to do with live performances, what not to do,
Mhm.
kind of helping, musicians. He said that's kind of. I said that's very cool because we've always talked about. Excuse me. We've always talked about having a segment on, for musicians.
Hmm. Like
And,
the stage perspective behind the monitors.
Well, and kind of helping musicians or budding musicians
Hmm.
with live performances and do's and don'ts and that kind of thing.
That's what we could call it. Call the series "Behind the Monitors," because we don't hear what's coming out of the mains. What everybody else hears,
You could.
we just hear what's coming out of the monitor, and we'll call it "True Stories from Behind the Monitors." This is what happens.
Behind the scenes.
Instead of behind the scenes, behind the monitor.
Perspective. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I do?
And sharing it with
Yeah.
musicians that
Absolutely.
that don't play out a lot or are starting to play out and, helping them learn.
I'll tell you a couple of things that I do. I like to every once in a while make an ugly face, like as if the note hurts. Like you bend a note and like it hurts. Like pain. If you make that type of face, not that one.
Okay.
That's a confused face.
But why?
Cause it just looks good.
Oh, okay.
He's summoning his inner Stevie Ray Vaughan painful blues face.
Right. Like when you bend a long note and you go.
By the way, this is radio and that doesn't.
It looks good, you know.
The camera's off. Oh man! All right, so the next time you bend a dirty note like that,
You want to see that
I wanna
note?
see the face
Okay.
that comes with the note.
And Barone told me that I'm no longer allowed to lick my finger without doing a finger tap. Because in several videos,
Depends on what.
when he was trying to edit videos and I licked my finger and I didn't do a finger tap and he couldn't use it. So I'm no longer allowed to lick my finger without doing a finger tap. I have to do a finger tap.
Okay.
So why would you lick your finger if you were doing a tap?
For the same reason I do the ugly face.
You ask him what it tastes like.
Yeah, why don't you find out? Here, why don't you lick my finger and find out?
Put it in my Is it in my contract?
Licking my finger. That's it.
One of these days.
Unless you give me.
Look, it's got to be in my contract. I'm not doing it.
Purple Skittles.
And then at the listening party that we have and the viewing party, we'll have the finger licking party. Lick my finger.
He's pulling out the Nutella again.
It'll be a lonely party, man.
By yourself.
Not even with Nutella, man. You guys are sick, man.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, really.
Can't believe some of the things you guys think of.
Hi, this is Jesse Prado. I'm glad to be here on the Local Music Show podcast. Make sure to tune in and listen to all the great adventures that you.
Welcome to the weekend recap, where this week's featured venue is Double Roads Tavern in Jupiter. I'll be announcing all shows at Double Roads from today through Sunday. This is our furthest north location, so I will be announcing again from north to south. Today, Pam and Dave at 6:30. Tomorrow afternoon at 5:30, Kaz and Tony Silver. Tomorrow night, the legendary George Lilly at 8:30 p.m. Saturday at 5:30, Abby Owens. Saturday at 8:30, Burnt Biscuit. And Sunday, Pro Jazz Jam Session starting at 4:30. All at our featured venue of the week, Double Roads Tavern in Jupiter. Tonight at Clematis by Night, Big Al and the Heavyweights at 6 p.m. Also tonight at the Wellington Amphitheater in Wellington are the Goodnicks and Friends of the Show, 6 p.m. Headed over to Lake Worth to the Rum Shack. Today, Jason Craig Band at 8:30 p.m. Tomorrow, Jericho at 9:30. And Saturday, Jawzilla at 9 p.m. Staying in Lake Worth at Matthews Brewing. Tonight is open mic night at 7 p.m. Tomorrow, Francine at 8 p.m. Saturday, Resin 8 at 8 p.m. And Sunday, Bryce Allen Band at 2:30 p.m. Heading down to Boynton Beach to Two Georges. Friday, George Zaruk at 5 p.m. Saturday, Poor Life Decisions at 4 p.m. And Sunday, The Flyers at 4 p.m. At the Wyndham Beach Resort in Deerfield, tonight, Rob Arendt solo at 7 p.m. At Galuppi's in Pompano Beach, tomorrow, Mr. Nice Guy at 7 p.m. Please support all your local bands. Anywhere they may be playing, come out and see us. Say hello to the Local Music Show podcast. Give us a shout out. Have a beer with us. Have a safe weekend, everybody. We will see you out there.
want to thank everyone for spending your valuable time hanging out with us each week at the Local Music Show podcast. We cannot thank you enough for your support and your sincere dedication to the show, to our bands, and to our local hangout spots. Be sure to catch our roaming Local Music Show podcast microphones. It's a great way to get yourself heard on the show and instantly become popular among others. Interact with the show by emailing us at localmusicshowpodcast@gmail.com. Join the conversation on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Send us an email if you'd like to add to the conversation or if you have a show idea. We'll be back next week, and we look forward to seeing you this weekend. I'm Derek Diamante for the Local Music Show podcast, signing off. Have a great weekend, everyone.